The Toronto Raptors get smoked in the most predictable loss of the season. Welcome to PENSARE Basketball. Let's break this down. The Toronto Raptors fought back hard against the Atlanta Hawks last night, and they had a very short turnaround before they had to get into Philly. They showed up very late last night, and this team, had they shown up and gotten blown out by 40, I don't think I would have been that surprised. This Philly team is not an easy team to match up against for the Raptors. I do believe if fully healthy, you could probably compete with them, but you need Jakob Poeltl, especially if Embiid is going to play this many minutes and is going to look as good as he did. And so much of why Embiid looked good is because he had 4 to 5, sometimes 6 inches, sometimes 8 inches on his defender. And the Sixers just present a ton of size. The 76ers have 4 players on their roster who probably would have started at the 5 for you. The Raptors chose for some reason to start Scottie Barnes at center against Joel Embiid, and they decided to go with Ochai Agbaji. Now, obviously, this helps in some regards and it hurts in others. I think more than anything, that decision, in my humble opinion, is probably the reason you lose this game because Ochai Agbaji gave you very little offensively. Cannot hit a shot to save his life. It just so happens that the guy who comes in for him to replace him is Jakob Poeltl, who looks like he has never shot a basketball before because he looks like he's lost complete faith in that jump shot. And then you have Grady Dick, who presents a whole slew of other problems, namely defensively. And tonight, it's ironic that Grady kind of cost you the game offensively with 3, as Shannon pointed out, empty possessions in a row. A lot of really good things that came out of tonight. First of all, that Raptors start was impressive. Colin Murray Boyles, once again, just showing you all those tools defensively. But so many things tonight came down to foul trouble, details, energy, effort. That closeout that you're supposed to make comes a quarter second late. That rotation that you're supposed to make comes a quarter second late. That pass that you're supposed to make, shout outs to Immanuel Quickley on the baseline with an inbound pass, comes a quarter second late. It doesn't help that the other team is just so much better rested than you. It's not like both teams played last night. Both teams are tired, so you can slug it out. This is also the type of team you really don't want to face when you're tired because this is a team that's going to run you up and down the court. They are very athletic, and VJ Edgecombe got to the rim whenever he wanted. Tyrese Maxey was doing whatever he wanted. And yes, some people are going to say Immanuel Quickley had a good game. I am not one of those people that is going to say Immanuel Quickley had a good game. I am going to say Immanuel Quickley made shots, and that is where I'm going to leave that. Defensively, he left a lot to be desired. And in terms of running the show, getting guys involved, he had some good plays. He had some really bad plays. Okay. RJ Barrett, mixed bag, right? Lot of really tough possessions defensively, but also, at least, when the Raptors were up, and you can look right here, the Raptors were not favored to win this game at any point other than that end of first, beginning of the second. And RJ was a really huge part of that. At least defensively, I think he competed really hard. And those traps on the baseline were coming like way quicker. And I found myself to be like, okay, RJ's doing a really good job defensively. Scottie Barnes and Brandon Ingram go through hell in this game, partially with injuries, partially with foul trouble. Scottie, picks up his 3rd foul just to end the second quarter. And that is a really, really tough place to be. And he picks up a 2nd foul in the second quarter. He picks up his 3rd foul to start the 3rd quarter. And then he picks up his 4th foul, what felt like 15 seconds later. Thankfully, Darko calls a timeout and they get away with something because I actually, for the first 3 fouls that Scottie quote unquote committed, I don't actually think they were really fouls. They were chippy, you know, bullshit fouls that Embiid, just got on him. That 4th one, I think, was a foul on Scottie. And they got it on a technicality on the replay where Embiid had his hand on Scottie's back and they said, well, he shoved him into Trent Watford. I don't think he shoved him into Watford. And if Embiid wasn't there, Scottie was going to pick up that foul no matter what. Watford is a really good player. I really liked him with the Brooklyn Nets, and I really wish the Raptors had someone like Trent Watford right now. He'd certainly be a whole lot better than whatever the hell they're playing, in between Ochai Agbaji and, a lot of these guys. So yeah, that was a really tough result. And then Scottie had to, sort of be tentative defensively. But I think Scottie had some great moments defensively too. And it was in the beginning of the third quarter where, it felt like all hope was lost, where Scottie came out and he was boom, running transition, boom, finding corner shooters. He was great. Scottie played about, I want to say, let's see here. Scottie Barnes played 32 minutes in tonight's game. I would say 15 of those minutes were amazing. I'd say 10 were really bad and the rest were forgettable. So need a little bit more of a consistent, effort here, but it's not too surprising to me that Scotty is the only starter who is plus in terms of plus minus tonight. It was he, Colin Murray Boyles, Jamison Battle in his 0 minutes and Grady Dick, who were plus, everyone else was negative, and that it felt like that, okay? And Ochai Abaji goes 0 for 1. Like, just really what happened to this guy, right? Ochai and Jacoby are guys who were hitting threes last year, were aggressive, confident offensively. Right now, they seem really lost, very lost, right? And yeah, I mean, if you want to take a good takeaway from tonight's game, your team played hard, man. They, you can feel it. You can really feel it that this is a team that wanted to win this game, but had no gas to win it. And so push comes to shove over and over again. They were down and out. There's 6 or 7 times during this game where I'm like, here comes the knockout blow. Here comes the 20-3 run, and this is a blowout. And the Raptors never let it happen over and over. It's a 12-point game, 11-point game. Boom, the Raptors cut it to 5. Boom, it's back to a 10-point game. Boom, the Raptors cut it to 3. It just happened over and over again. And I think that this is the type of loss that I could have seen coming from a mile away. I said it during yesterday's live. This is going to be a loss. I said it during today's live. This is going to be a loss. You have never heard me really proclaim very definitively that the Raptors are going to lose a game before today. So if you're expecting me to crash out over this game, like, you need drama in your life. This is not a crash out worthy game. If nothing else, this is a game that you learn something about yourself. And frankly, hopefully you can take something away from this. There were some good performances. Again, I think, Scotty had different things that he was dealing with. Number one, he was dealing with Embiid. Number two, he's dealing with foul trouble. Number three, he's dealing with his own demons with the referees, picking up phantom call after phantom call after phantom call. Number four, he's dealing with Brandon Ingram crashing out on the bench, throwing Gatorade all over him. Number five, he's dealing with back stiffness and a hand injury and an ankle injury all in the same game. It's just when you go up against Embiid, you just kind of like, because he's so physical and he throws his body around in such a reckless way and he's just so handsy, you know what I mean? You just kind of pray that your star doesn't have a season ending injury against this guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even trying to be rude about it. I think Joel Embiid is one of the dirtiest players in NBA history. And some of it is like he tries to do stupid things on the court. Like he dives into players' knees, he'll dive into your ankles, and he just so happens to be 300 pounds. So it hurts a lot more when he does it. But the other thing is he just doesn't have control over his body sometimes. Like he just flails around. And when he whacks his arms around, like how many times have we seen? I mean, he hurt Pascal, Kem, and Scotty in the same series. And yeah, so obviously Scotty took a brunt of the beating tonight from Embiid. Joel Embiid, who was supposed to be on a minutes restriction, plays 26 minutes. I thought he was supposed to be on a 20-minute restriction, but whatever. I mean, I guess Nick Nurse needed him because the Raptors cut it to 3, and then they put Embiid back in with 3 minutes to go, and boom, there went the lead. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot of self-inflicted stuff, man. It's a lot of errors of judgment. It's a lot of silly things. It's small things, man. Like darting that inbounds pass, Grady going into traffic over and over, blown opportunities in transition again and again, where the Raptors just consistently have 2-on-1, 3-on-1, and get nothing out of it, or even 3-on-2. Fast breaks are supposed to be the most efficient offense, but for some reason, this team can't figure it out. And they're pretty good defensively. So, they should be able to figure it out, but this wasn't a great defensive game. This is not a game where, you can really say, wow, it was really crisp. There was individual moments. Scotty got a block on Embiid. I think he got a second block too, which he didn't get credited for. Back to back back to back to back to back now. Scottie has like 4 stocks in a game, which is, very impressive. Shout outs to Sean Stevenson. I'm not a big fantasy guy, but he sent me a listing of the fantasy rankings for the year. And apparently, Scottie Barnes is the 5th ranked player in the NBA in terms of fantasy stats. So, you know, again, with the rebounding, like Scottie is boxing out Embiid. So it's going to allow Ingram to get a rebound. It's going to allow RJ to get a rebound. I think there's some positives in terms of, what I talked about during the live today, which is that the Toronto Raptors do not get to the line enough. Well, today, I think RJ Barrett and Brandon Ingram did a better job of getting to the line. Like they each got to the line 7 times. I mentioned that the Raptors do not make their free throws. Well, tonight, they made some of their free throws. The only guy who was really cold from the line really was Colin Murray Boyles, who missed half of his free throws, but he also was very physical attacking the rim. And this is not a good this is not a good defense. Like the Philadelphia 76ers are not a good defense. And the way the Raptors came out, they were very comfortable, but then they started to get tired. That breakneck pace that they were trying to play at, the pace that the Sixers force you to play at, I felt like as much as the Raptors were up, there was a path to winning this game, and it involved slowing it down. And it's just not possible to play fast against the team on a back-to-back and still have legs in the fourth quarter. A lot of short jumpers. Ingram missed a ton of threes. I mean, he missed 3 3-pointers. Scottie made his first 2, missed his last 3. RJ goes 2 for 4, including that huge one to cut it to 3 in the fourth quarter. Abaji goes 0 for 1. Jamal Shed was on fire early on in this game. The Raptors, I think, were 10 for 12 to start the game from 3. They cooled off substantially. Grady Dick goes 1 for 4, 1 for 6 overall. Jacoby goes 1 for 6 overall, including 1 for 3 from 3. Jacoby needs to take a long, really hard look in the mirror right now, because I'm trying to tell you, like, the Raptors are not going to be endlessly patient with him. He has got a lot of good things going for him right now. He is probably the best point of attack defender on your team, but he cannot be Patrick McCaw offensively. Right now, he has no confidence in that shot. He's trying to get off the ball as quickly as he catches it. And now he's trying to be over aggressive because he's trying to balance out the lack of aggression. He just needs to play his game. He needs to take those shots with confidence. He shot cold to start the season last year. He missed a lot of training camp, obviously, this year. And it just seems like this illness or whatever the hell is going on with him is just really messing him up right now. And mentally, he does not look right. Defensively looks great. Although, yeah, like, I mean, he was the one guy who could kind of stay in front of VJ Edgecombe, could kind of stay in front of Maxey, right? The Raptors resort to this 2-point guard lineup. It obviously solves one problem. And it, again, like you get a little bit more speed, you get a little bit more switchability on the perimeter, but then you get less size. So it's like you're solving one problem, you're creating another one, which is you become worse rebounding, you become worse protecting the paint, you get worse in terms of offensive rebounds. The Raptors once again get crushed on the glass, 39-28. They get crushed on the offensive glass, 15-10. They get crushed on the rebound battle, 54-38. They get crushed in terms of getting to the, well, they don't actually get crushed in terms of getting to the line because the Sixers somehow get to the line 28 times, even though the Raptors were way more aggressive. The Raptors shoot better from 3. The Raptors shot better from 3 and lost by 10. They shot 13% better from 3 and lost by 10 points. How? 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 You know what I mean? Like how? How the fuck did this happen? And largely it comes down to the fact that the Sixers were just way more efficient inside the paint. The Sixers make 51% of their field goals tonight, and they take 6 more shots. Like it's that simple, right? The Raptors led by 14 at one point. The Sixers end up winning by almost their largest win margin. And in terms of points in the paint, 64-38. 64 paint points. You give up 64 paint points. And it's not like you could do anything, right? You really couldn't do anything tonight. I mean, Scottie, once he got into foul trouble, he wasn't able to be physical with Andre Drummond. And even still, I think Scottie did an admirable job. He put his body on the line. He took all the bumps and bruises. But man, this is not a sustainable thing. You cannot put your 6'7", 6'8" small forward out there on Joel Embiid. Like he's not OG Anunoby. He's not a guy who can just kind of coast on, and on the other end, you need him to do so much for you offensively. And now, like he's getting tired, and now he has no legs to do what he has to do. The right move tonight, honestly, is probably if I'm being honest, you don't play Jakob last night and you play him tonight. I understand the NBA Cup is a big deal, but I feel like last night you didn't need him as much. A perimeter big has just as good a chance at stopping Kristaps Porzingis and Jalen Johnson, but you really needed Jakob Poeltl tonight. So you go 1-1, you split the back to back. There's nothing wrong with this. The Raptors are 5-5 on the season. And if I'm being honest, with all the things they've had to face, with how quickly has started out the season, with how Jakob started out the season, I would have predicted they'd be 2-8 right now. So 5-5 is a huge, huge, huge step up in the right direction. Okay, let's get to the film breakdown, and then we will get to Recruiter Dude, then Marwin, and then Johnny Dang. Okay, the film session will not be long. I wanna let you know that our film session, like our proper film session, will actually be during tomorrow's members only live. We now have 192 members, which is amazing, and uh, in large part due to, oh my god, blank. How am I blanking here? Dude, how am I forgetting your name right now? Someone help me. I was just thinking the name and it's just like slipping through my head. Pepperjack. There we go. Pepperjack. It is largely due to Pepperjack gifting out 10 memberships yesterday, which puts us up to 192. So we will have 192 people who can access the show. The kind of cool thing about members only lives is they are not monetized. So that means if I do get clipped because, I'm going too long with the clip or too much of the clip is exposed, and NBA decides to monetize the video, at least I'm not losing anything. So actually, I've been really deeply thinking about how some members' lives could be actually best utilized as film sessions because very often during the film sessions, I have to stop short. There's more of the clip I want to show, but I can't show that much. So it'll actually be a really cool episode for tomorrow, and I can't wait to share that with our members. So let's take a very brief look at some of the things that happened tonight. I really like this first play on Scottie Barnes, and I wish that he had been this aggressive for the rest of the first quarter. But this is pretty much like one of only two shots I think he took in his first stint. So yeah, Embiid is a very good defender historically, but right now he doesn't have the mobility to guard on the perimeter. And the Raptors had one advantage: attack Embiid in space, and they just couldn't. They couldn't organize their offense to do it. They couldn't get the switches, and this is where I say you need a proper point guard to do this, right? You need like that surgeon. And I don't want to say like Fred VanVleet, but even a Fred VanVleet level point guard would have been able to exploit Embiid in space because there's not a lot of help behind him in this lineup. Olynyk is an okay, defender there, but he's not great. So if you can spread Embiid out, force him to guard 25 feet from the basket, sprint up and down the court. You can probably play him off the court. You can break him. You can get him in space, and you can get Scotty going downhill. Maybe get him a whole bunch of fouls. But I think the Raptors kind of let Embiid off the hook, and I have to say a lot of that has to be on Darko Rajakovic. And here, we're gonna see a little bit of a sight for sore eyes. Boom. RJ Barrett passes to Immanuel Quickley right over his former teammate Tyrese Maxey. He's able to make that three. Immanuel Quickley actually comes out and makes his first three-pointers. This one also from RJ Barrett. You'll see how frequently these two assist to each other. They love looking for each other. And here, RJ sort of sets this little screen here. VJ Edgecombe just a little bit late, closing out to Immanuel Quickley. And that's great. That's the best of Quickley. I think that's like the best he looked is to start this game. He puts up 9 quick points, everything in rhythm. It's great. And here, I say it's raining threes in Philly, right? RJ Barrett misses a shot, gets his own offensive rebound, and look at this awareness through the defenders, is able to see CMB in the corner, and Sandro Mamukelashvili nicely relocates to the proper space to take the shot, passes it over to CMB. CMB passes it over to Jamal Shed, who confidently steps in, and he makes his first three. And he would subsequently go on to make his 2 first threes. And just like, man, are the Raptors just about to have that type of shooting game? Like, this is amazing. Here, this was one of the most impressive plays. Kelly Oubre Jr. is a veteran wing guard player. Okay. He is more than comfortable dribbling a basketball up and down the court. But Colin Murray Boyles puts so much of a physicality into him. And this is a rookie. This is a 20-year-old rookie, 21-year-old rookie. And he is able to catch that dribble and is able to get back in place. And then he gets fouled. Unfortunately, he would proceed to miss both of the free throws, but that's an extra possession that he buys you. Here, I said this is a Shackton a fool level play by Immanuel Quickley. Now, here comes the fast break, okay? Sandro Mamukelashvili is going to pass up to Immanuel Quickley. What's the right pass, y'all? I would like y'all to tell me what's the right pass. I'm actually curious to know where your basketball IQ is. What is the right pass here? Good job. Easily. Okay? Easily. And I promise you, this is not something advanced. Okay? Yes. Yes, exactly. So you take one, either you pass to him here or you take one hard dribble right. Grady, just get the fuck out of the way. Because at this point, you're just making it way too easy. Grady probably should have fanned out to the corner. But the spacing is not great here. Grady probably goes the wrong direction. Everything is mistimed, largely because Immanuel Quickley has the ball. And AG saying, let me guess, he forces it to Grady. You are correct because he just has this. Okay, so here, if you're actually looking at Grady here, you get CMB a wide open dunk. Instead, you're looking at CMB and Grady is moving away from the basket. Why? And look how off target this pass is. Grady has to gather it, can't do anything with it. The defender already closes out. Grady pump fakes, gets it back to Mamu, who is going to, for some reason, get it back to Immanuel Quickley. And Immanuel Quickley is already projecting this drive. He doesn't even wait for a commitment. He's already made up his mind. Look, on the catch, does this look like a guy who could shoot this basketball? No, because he's already decided, oh, I'm going to force a drive here. You are so fucking predictable. It is nuts. It makes me mad when people say, okay, like honestly, I promise I'm not going to crash out. I'm going to be normal. I'm going to be normal, man. But yo, you can't put into words how stupid this play is. Watch how it turns out. So you get cut off, you cross over, and then you get blocked from behind. And then you clap at the referees and don't get back on defense. You think Immanuel Quickley played well because you're not watching. You're reading a box score and you see 18 points and you're like, oh, or 20 points. You're like, wow, Immanuel Quickley, he made some shots. Immanuel Quickley is unimaginably bad at basketball right now. Like, it's not the skill. The skill is there. He's worked on the skill. It's awesome. His handle, his creativity, all of it. The process, though, of deciding what to do and when to do it is so off right now that it's just like, it's shocking that he's a professional basketball player. Like the inability to run a simple fast break. This is something like I know high school players who could make that pass to CMB. Jesus. It's really crazy. Here, CMB said, I'm the best rookie. Fuck you, VJ. Nah, for real. Shout outs to VJ Edgecombe. He's awesome. But, you know, great block for CMB. Okay. Now, if you want to see how a fast break should run, here's how a fast break should run. And I've slowed this down just in case Immanuel Quickley ever wants to take notes. Somehow Immanuel Quickley would fuck this up. But you know what? The caption is, there's 4 players in Toronto that I trust to run a fast break. I trust Scottie Barnes. Okay? I trust Scottie Barnes. I trust Sandro. I trust BI. Wait a second. Are there 4 players that I trust? There might be 3. Now, no projection, right? Where's this pass going? Where is this pass going? Shed is not even on the court. What are we talking about? That's Quickley. That's Mamu on the right side. Who is saying CMB? Chucky, Mamu. Dude, what are y'all doing? Now, Trenton Watford has his entire body squared towards Scottie Barnes, which means he gets the commitment, right? Now, here is a perfect pass to Mamu. The only thing that Watford can do is foul. This is what you do. This is what you do. And you know what? Oh, Jamal Shed. Sorry. Jamal Shed. Jamal Shed is the 4th player that I trust to run a fast break. There we go. Yes, you are correct. Jamal is the 4th player. So it's Jamal, Sandro, BI, Scottie. Those are the 4 players I trust implicitly to not fuck up a fast break. Okay. RJ is pretty good at it, but sometimes gets a little too tunnel visioned. Immanuel Quickley is horrible at it. Jakob Poeltl can't dribble the fucking basketball. And yeah. Okay. Shannon, you're going to hate this. I'm sorry, man. You're going to hate this one. I know you're going to hate this one, so you might as well just go away for a minute. You don't want to watch this, I promise. But here's RJ Barrett getting downhill, okay? This is a wonderful angle to attack. Quentin Grimes stays on him. He decides he's going to pass to Grady Dick, right? But watch this pass. It's projected. It's a little off target. And you don't do enough to the defense. So again, watch the defense as he comes off the drill. What has happened to the defense right now? So Embiid stops short to cut off this pass because he can already see that RJ is not going to take this shot. He can already see the projection. You can't project this. We all know you're making that pass. Everybody sees that pass. Now, what Grady can't do now is launch. So when I say not all passes are equal, this is what I mean. Now, Grady is going to try to dribble on VJ Edgecombe, can't do anything, throws a grenade out to Scottie. Now watch this. It's going to be a little bit fast because it's a little sped up to avoid the copyright, but watch this. Now, this is the floor that we have in front of us. What do you think Scottie should do on the catch? Justin T, you're a very smart guy. Skip. Wide open in his pocket. Wide open 3. That's a practice 3. So when we talk about not all passes are equal, this is what we're talking about. These grenade passes that IQ will throw to you occasionally, like, it's just nuts, man. Now, this is the future of Toronto Raptors basketball. This right here. Watch Scottie Barnes getting very physical with Joel Embiid, getting underneath him. This is scary, okay? Joel Embiid is absolutely known to fling elbows and break your face, okay? And he's already gone through this with Jokic multiple times. So here, Scottie, you can tell. Scottie is cognizant that Embiid is going to flail those elbows about. And this is what I actually think I was very impressed with RJ Barrett because he did the exact same thing on the baseline in the first quarter. But watch CMB do this. Now, Embiid turns his head. The help defender, this is where the help principles come in. This is where they tell you to trap. You actually have to have a talent, though. A talent to do this without fouling requires great hands. And here, great timing, hand-eye coordination. You have to attack the player's dribble. You have to come from underneath. And CMB is so good at this. But this is a steal for CMB. But this is a play created by 2 players defensively. It's just the same thing as, when Scottie Barnes or Jamal Shed does a great job of fronting his defender, and Scottie is able to, because that defender is trying to flail around with Jamal Shed, Scottie's able to pick off the pass. It took 2. right? So it takes two to make a thing go right sometimes, And here, nothing worth overthinking, right? CMB, he's just going to get fouled, go to the line. So perfect, right? Would I have liked for him to pass to Jakob Poeltl? Probably. Yeah, sure. Would have been great. Okay. I put Carly Commando music to this. Do y'all remember the NBA where, this happens? So I can't play that song right now, but this is the song that I set to this. Okay, I'm going to mute it just because I don't want to get copyright. But did anyone on earth see this shot going up for Immanuel Quickley and think, that's going to go in? Did anyone in the world see Tyrese Maxey fly by and be like, that's going in? Do you think this is going in? It's such a crazy shot with 5 seconds to go. Now, look at the court, right? Like the decision making, once again, leaves so much to be desired. Here, clock management. Go all the way. You're set up for a drive. It will result in a wide open three for Ingram on the kickback. You just don't see it. You can't see it. Everyone can see it but you. Everyone. Instead, you force this completely batshit crazy shot. 7 seconds on the clock. You have to get something better than this with 7 seconds on the clock. My God, if you attack that, at the very least, on the opposite corner, you have RJ who is fanning out. If you attack middle right now, you have an open pass to RJ, you have a kickback pass to Brandon Ingram, but Immanuel Quickley, for whatever reason, and it's so weird to me because one time he actually did bend the defense and he was in a position to score, and then he passed. Like, it's just like he's playing multiple choice and he always chooses the wrong thing. It's nuts. Here, I said Scottie owns Joel Embiid here. What an impressive block, man. How many wings do you think can block Joel Embiid like that? Just nuts. And here, Quickley is going to make the right pass. Psych. But hey, what did Allen Iverson say? Every missed shot is a pass, right? Go get it. So Scottie is officially in the Theo Ratliff, role right now. Shout outs. Said bend but don't break. Here, Immanuel Quickley is going to make the right pass, and he passes it up to Scottie Barnes. Perfect. Finally makes this pass. Pump fake. Get Joel Embiid off his balance. Scottie has had a lot of issues early this season, just missing gimmies at the basket. His touch around the basket has not been perfect, and I think this is just going to come at some point. Like it gets better and worse with him sometimes, so he's just going to have to finish a little bit better. Here, once again, okay, I will not be showing the CMB block shot. Unfortunately, that will be in tomorrow's film session, but yes, CMB was awesome for that block. Look at this pass from Brandon Ingram. And again, once again, not all passes are created equal. I think Brandon Ingram is an actually gifted passer. Okay. So here, watch the manipulation. CMB sets the screen. Take it, reject it, takes it. Takes it, solid screen. Force the commitment from Maxey, Jamal Shed, 3. Just love it. Good shot. On target, right? 9 to 5, 5 to 9. These two love to pass to each other. And here you can guarantee it. If everyone is open, the pass from Immanuel Quickley will always go to RJ Barrett. And here I think it's the right move. It's the right move. RJ has proven himself as a catch and shoot shooter this year. And good job. Good job there. So overall, the Raptors run out of gas. Let's get some callers here. We get to Recruiter Dude, and we get to Marwin, and we get to Johnny Dang, and then we will get to the Gav Rav. We will try to keep calls to about 5 to 6 minutes. We're not trying to do a 2-hour show on this loss. Recruiter Dude, what is up, man?
Hey, boss. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How's my voice quality? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's cool.
Um, Getting really, really tired of the abuse that Scotty's taking in the post.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
getting really, 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 really sick and tired of it. It wasn't just tonight. It was last night as well. there's been a bunch of games, and I don't know if it's becoming a reputation thing, but he's getting absolutely hacked in the post on a consistent basis, and I don't know how you scheme for that, right? Because like he needs to be a point of offense in the post for us to be good. Like today was ridiculous, and the Sixers got away with a bunch of shit. Like I'm not going to take away like their good performance. Like yes, they're aggressive. They're a very good physical team.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not enjoying on the balance of play.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say earlier? Like you thought it was there was going to be like a knockout punch, like you were anticipating like a heavy blow, and that the game was
Yeah.
going to get away from us. I felt the same way, but we were just able to kind of keep up with them physically until like the very last moment, and I feel like it was in spite of just horrendous abuse in the post and just having to deal with that. And like I don't know, what's your opinion? Do you think Scottie is like is he now developing a bad reputation, and this is one of these things he's going to have to go through like Jason Tatum did? Like I don't know.
What do you mean a bad reputation?
Well, like it's implied, or it's not implied, but like I feel like he complains,
Mm-hmm.
and my guess is that refs are just ignoring him, but he's actually like he's getting whacked in the post like consistently. He's not getting any calls, right? And so like what do you do then? Because then does he just keep passing out of the post, and then we scheme it that way? Or like he needs to be a scorer in the post for us to be like a good team. And I'm as a from my vantage point watching it on TV, like I'm getting discouraged. Like he's getting in the post and like he's not getting any calls. You know, like
I
this.
see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think his thing is he's suffering from the Dwight Howard, Shaq, thing, which is when you're very big and very muscular, they get you get to you get fouled a lot more for whatever reason. Like Shaq got abused in the paint, and he was the face of the league. And the referees just kind of looked at him like, "You're 7 feet tall and you're built like a brick shit house. Like you can take that, right?" Scottie's just a really well built dude. He seems very physical, very muscular, and I think because of that, very often, not only do fans expect him to be very brutish in the post and tough, um, I think referees sometimes expect him to finish through more contact than, say, an Immanuel Quickley. You know what I mean? So I think that's part of it. There's like that little bit of a bias that is applied to Scottie Barnes. You can see it in the way Jack calls the game, right? Like get in the post. He needs to get his butt in the post. You know what I mean? Like he's so strong.
No,
He needs to get his,
he's doing what he's supposed to do, but he's getting hacked. Am I the only one who's seeing this? Like there was at least 4 or 5 times today I said, "Where's the call?"
oh yeah,
Like this guy should be going to the line like on the balance of play like at least another 5 more times than he is.
right.
And it's not for lack of effort. Like this is getting crazy. Like this guy's like just the stress on his body too. Like
Mhm.
carrying everybody defensively, attacking the post, connective passer, like reading the play, and the hardest coverage in the game for the amount of minutes that he's in the game for. Like it's wearing me down watching it. Like we need like someone throw this guy a bone.
Right.
Like
Do you
a
want to
little
do,
bit
do
of help.
you want to feel better about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Free throws in that fourth quarter. What did you?
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Doug. That's outrageous. What happened tonight? This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this. 23 free throws for them, and we get 2 free throws for the whole game. How is that possible? How are you going to explain that to me? They had to win tonight? If that's the case, just let us know so we don't show up for the game. Just give them a win. But that was not fair tonight. And this is not happening first time for us. Scottie Barnes is going to be all-star. He's going to be the face of this league. And what's happening over here during whole season, I've been holding it back. It's a complete crap.
There we go. So Darko believes you. I believe you. Will the refs believe you? I don't know. But hey, man. Someone left a comment the other day. They said, I really love your show, but I need to laugh a little bit. And I figured that would be a little bit of a comedy pause. Anyway.
Well, last thing, one last bit of comedy for you was Grady defending Edgecombe. I mean, I don't know what the hell that was. I think it was 1 or 2 possessions. I thought to myself, oh, he's dead. Grady's like, you're toast. Like, that was crazy.
I have 4 words for you, recruiter dude. It's a complete crap. It's a complete crap. That's how I felt watching Grady Dick guard VJ Edgecombe. Honestly, like I feel like yelling in Serbian at the television, in like a strong Serbian accent, pulling off my best Darko impression while I'm watching some of Grady.
Well, I was thinking of you. I said, are you kidding me? Like, what's Rob doing right now? Like, I'm not actually watching this. And then he does a 2-handed dunk, like just blow by 2-handed dunk. I thought, okay, well,
yeah,
that's gonna make the highlight reel, perhaps, maybe.
Yeah. All right.
Low light.
Nice to talk to you. I don't think we talked this year, but thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate you always, buddy.
All the best, boss. Take care.
Let's see. Colosso with a super chat. The worst part of this game was me seeing Lowry hitting Sellies on the bench. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's really tough. Okay, we got Marwan next, then we got Johnny Dang, and then we got the Gavrav. Marwan, what's up?
Hey Rob, how's it going?
We are good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too concerned about this game. Like, I don't think it's worth a crash out, like you were saying. Like, you could have probably written this one out weeks ago, to be honest. Especially once that Jakob injury report came out, I sort of knew that this was a chalked game.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of things, it's not the end of the world. But I definitely am a bit disappointed. Just because I felt like, despite everything, I thought this game was right there for the taking.
Yes.
Had we just made a bit like some better decision making from all the guys, some better defense, honestly, we could have easily won this game. I also don't really love the rotations tonight. I thought, in all honesty, Mogbo should have gotten some run. I think he might have been with the 905. Yeah. He was with the 905, but I think you really could have probably used him in this game, particularly with his point of attack defense today.
Yep.
I will say that despite the box score, I really hated Ingram's game today, personally. He didn't shoot it terribly, but I thought his defense was horrible. And I thought he really is forcing it on offense. I think he's starting to do things that he's starting to shy away from the things that were making him so good to start the year. And I felt this way for the last 2 games, yesterday's game and today's game. I don't like the way he's playing offense right now. It's forced. There's a lot of ISO, and I get it. That's Ingram's game. You need him to get a bucket, but at the same time, he's starting to get a lot of tunnel vision, which I wasn't seeing from at the beginning of the season. And there was one play in particular tonight that was really egregious, where Scottie is literally open in the post, and Ingram decides to take to take an ISO for no reason. So I really didn't like his decision making today at all. And again, the Quickley thing, like I harped on Quickley last call or the call before. He's been better the last few games, but again, processing is still a bit of an issue. I think the takeaways for me in this game is that CMB looks legit, and I think CMB genuinely is ready to start soon. So the clock is ticking, in my opinion. And the other thing is, again, and I mentioned this last call, Jamal Shed is a real solid backup NBA point guard, in my opinion. The 3 is finally falling. I think he's shooting 45-ish% after this game. He thought 3 or 5 today, and 41 going into this game. So I'm so impressed, like so impressed that he's finally turned it around on the shooting end.
Yeah, I think weirdly enough, like we might be overthinking this 3-point shit with Ochai, because again, in theory, he's a 3-and-D guy. But at this point, his defense is so far below what Jonathan Mobo can give you or what CMB can give you that I'll almost trade off the extra size rebounding. People saying that Mobo wouldn't have solved the rebounding problems. Johnny A saying we don't have rebounding. Mobo is not the answer. I would argue Jonathan Mobo is your second best rebounder after Jakob Poeltl. So yeah,
and CMB as well, but yeah.
CMB, Scottie as well. Yeah, like Brandon Ingram's been participating a little bit. I
Yeah.
do need more on the glass from RJ. Again, this is not 1992. Okay, we're gonna have longer rebounds, and whenever there's a long rebound, it seems like the Raptors can't get their hands on it.
I
So
was just gonna mention that like last season I think the team got away with the small ball sometimes because there was a lot of gang rebounding going on. But I'm not really seeing that this year to start the year, despite the record, they've played okay. But the
mhm.
rebounding's been terrible. Like it hasn't been good at all. Like I don't know if it's a lack of effort, if it's rotations, whatever it is. Maybe yeah, it helped. It sort of doesn't help that Jakob's been out for the large part of the year, but
Sure.
I really think that the rebounding in terms of team rebounding hasn't looked good at all. They're not fighting, they're not boxing out. It just I'm not impressed.
Yeah, neither am I. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been really bad, and it's pretty much the thing that's held them back from being maybe 7-1,
Hmm.
8-1.
And
Right?
I
It's
w-
just they keep
yeah, I
giving
was
up these additional offensive rebounds. I can't remember the last time they won the offensive rebounding battle.
right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that was constantly happening last season, right? So yeah, it's a bit disappointing. What I wanted to ask you is we've now seen this team play without Jakob a couple times.
Sure.
I think personally, and I think prior to the season, we might have thought that Jakob was more integral to this offense, particularly with his hub playmaking, more than I think we might believe right now.
Sure.
Which leads me to believe that, like, I think this team could do with a rim protector, even if they aren't necessarily as good in the playmaking department. Um, it really hurts my eyes, honestly, watching Ryan Kalkbrenner play right now. I don't know if you've watched any of the Charlotte
Yeah, I
games,
have. I have.
and
I
it's
have.
very difficult and frustrating to watch because it's like this is a guy that really could have helped us this year, and he was 5 spots away, and I really don't think it would have taken a lot to get there. And unfortunately, I don't I still don't understand the Elijah Martin pick, and I'm still a bit upset about it. But this is a need that you had this year, and if this guy was on this team right now, he would be playing 20 minutes a night.
Yeah.
So I really don't understand it, and I think that's something I think that's probably, in my opinion, the first thing that Bobby needs to address is the lack of size, because this is getting ridiculous. Even with Jakob healthy, like Mamu, I'm really like, again, offensively he's been amazing. I love Mamu, but defensively he really doesn't give you much. And I think he's a 4. He's really not a 5. So you definitely need more size in there. Like you're getting killed every game.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's that hard to find a 7-footer who can rebound. Like, there's plenty of those guys in the G League. Um, it's not that hard to find one in terms of like veering away from a guy who can make passes or be more of a hub. I have no problem with that, but you still need a player who can read and react very quickly, because we've seen with Precious Achua, we've seen it with, Chris Boucher, that when you get a player on the court who cannot move out of space, see space well, make the second read out of a pass well, I think the whole offense kind of falls apart.
Hmm.
And rim protection is important, of course, defensively, but not at the compromise of everything that's going right for you offensively right now. Because yeah, so it's tough, like, to find a center who can play in uh in Darko's system. I think the perfect center for Darko's system is ironically a guy we used to have, which is Marc Gasol.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'd
And
be perfect. Yeah.
if you put Prime
Anyway,
Marcus on this team, yeah, you would do a lot of things. Yeah.
we would be a title contender with prime
Yeah.
Marc Gasol.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
any final thoughts, man?
No, honestly, I just want to say to the Raptors community that's still in here, don't really stress too much about this game. Like this is a casualty of the schedule. This is a scheduling loss, and we'll pick it up, and I'm sure we'll be great next game. So not to worry.
I 100% agree. All right, man.
All right.
Cheers. Okay, Johnny Dang, what's up?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I just think it's crazy, and I think Darko's a terrible coach. I don't understand why he's playing Oshai Abaji over Jamison Battle.
Okay.
Like right now, if you had to guess what Oshai Abaji's shooting this season from 3, what would you guess?
8%, 7%.
That's very close. He's shooting 9%.
Well,
And then,
did you factor in tonight's game?
actually, I don't think so. I'm just looking at Basketball Reference.
Okay. So tonight he was 0 for 1. What is he on the season?
He is shit.
What?
Hold up. He is Yeah, I cannot find that shit. Hold up.
Is he 1 for 11?
Probably. Yeah, 1 for 11. Yeah.
Yeah, so now he's 1 for 12. So at 1 for 12, he is shooting now 8.3% from 3.
Yeah, and Jamison Battle shooting 71%. Like,
Yeah, but totally different levels of defenders, athletes, and
I
I
just
think the
I
point
don't agree.
tonight was just getting speed on the perimeter to be able to hedge and recover on Tyrese Maxey. And Tyrese Maxey puts a lot of pressure on a player like Jamison Battle or even Grady Dick. You know, like he's so quick. So really, you don't have anyone on your roster who can even stay in front of that guy other than maybe Jamal Shed. And you know, Quickly can't do it. And if Quickly can't do it, RJ in battle definitely can't do it. So yeah, we need Ochai to hit shots, but defensively, I think if you start Jameson Battle tonight, I hear what you're saying, but for the threes that you get out of it, maybe like 2-3 threes that he hits, you probably give up like 40 points to Maxey instead of 30.
I just don't think so. I don't think Oshai, like, if Oshai was like a Ben Wallace type defender, then of course, but like he
Don't
hasn't
have to
been
be a
great.
Ben Wallace type defender to recover and to be able to switch your hips a little bit and provide a little bit of resistance. Like, like he's not. I don't even think Ochai is one of the 4 best defenders on his team. But
Of
in
course not.
terms of the individual matchup of VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, I understand why you would start him. I would have started CMB personally, or
see.
Mobo. I would have started one of those two. But yeah. What else do you think of tonight's game other than the fact that Darko cannot coach?
I think Immanuel Quickley should never have to inbound the ball ever again. I think he should never bring the ball up the court ever again.
Ever?
Ever. What else do I think? I think Conor Boyles is going to be good. And I think we need a 7-footer on our team.
Yeah, 7-footer would be dope. Yeah, I mean, I would love a 7-footer.
How would you feel about Mo Bamba?
I would feel very bad about Mo
Bad?
Bamba. Yeah,
Come on. Why not? Why not?
because I've watched Mo Bamba play basketball.
But like he'd be better than, what we got right now.
Can't play in this offense. Not smart enough to play in this offense.
I mean,
but yeah,
we're letting Emmanuel Quickley playing this offense.
Yeah, Mo Bamba is a different level of terribleness, but I would consider maybe someone like a Jonathan Isaac if he was, not so injury prone and didn't look so horrible right now. That would be an interesting player.
15 million though. Like,
I'm pretty sure you would be into Bol.
Nah, I'm actually against Bol, to be honest.
Why are you against Bol, but you're into Mo Bamba?
Nah, just Bol's off the court antics. I've been seeing some TikToks recently. It's not looking good for him.
What do you do? Sorry, now I'm curious.
He was
I don't
at
have
like
TikTok.
a Cardi concert or something, and he was looking like he was on drugs and shit. But
oh damn. Well, he is now a fashion designer, so
yeah.
Say la vie. Anyways, man, Johnny Dang, any final thoughts?
I think we should trade for DeJounte Murray and also maybe pick up Ben Simmons. I mean, the Ben Simmons one isn't even like that crazy though. On a minimum, he's good.
I don't know if you're kidding. Are you kidding?
Did you watch him on the Clippers? I swear I thought he played good. Like on 50 mil, he's not good. But on 2 mil, I'd take him on this squad.
I mean, I respect Ben Simmons as a player. I don't know if I want Ben Simmons, the ego, the personality on this team, but hey, I mean, I get it. I definitely get it. He would have helped a lot tonight in terms of, showing up some of your defense because he's certainly a lot better defensively than Ochai Agbaji. But he can't shoot, won't shoot, and that is a non-starter for me with Jakob Poeltl already on the court. All right, man. Thanks a lot for calling in. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Have a great day.
Yeah. Okay, the Gavrav, what's up?
Hey, yo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Somebody who turns their camera on and has a podcasting setup. That's cool.
Hey, yeah. No, it's studio setup. I do music, so not a great talker, but I'll try my best here. First off, I just want to get a little corny. I want to give you mad thanks for deepening my love and appreciation for basketball. Started off like as a casual fan, probably like 10 years ago or so, and tuned into you around the BI trade, and you just hooked me, man. And I'm just like balls deep into basketball now. So thanks, dude. You really made it like a bajillion times more enjoyable. I drive a lot for work, so listening to your videos in the car and stuff just makes the day way better. So thanks, man. Just want to give you props.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
don't know
thank
how
you, dude.
I think it's taken me like years and years to actually get comfortable taking a compliment, because that was a very generous compliment. Thank you very much. I'm very appreciative to hear that, and I'm so glad that this podcast has helped do that for you. But yeah, like I got to tell you, like 5-6 years ago, someone would say that to me, I'd be like uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, like very uncomfortable
no.
with anyone saying I'm good at anything. But yes, thank you so much for that, and
Yeah,
I'm really glad.
similar.
I'm really glad to know that you're part of this community. What'd you think of today's game?
Well, I heard you giving Quickley a hard time. And yeah, I'm following that. Something I was wondering your take on though, like, were you thinking he was getting off the ball a little quicker tonight and not deferring to RJ as much?
I don't have a problem with him deferring to RJ necessarily. I have a problem with him looking to RJ when somebody else is wide open. But that being said, yes, the overall offensive process is moving in a good direction. Like it has been. Like there was the first 3-4 games of the season where I would say he was too aggressive, but always in the wrong sense, like over dribbling, over penetrating, overthinking, overpassing, underpassing. Like it just felt like very often he just made the wrong decision, but he made so many decisions because he had the ball so often. Then we went through a 3-4 game stretch where he just felt like more passive. Like he almost felt invisible, like he wasn't really taking shots. There was a game where he took 5 shots. That's also not good. The reason I was giving him kudos for taking those shots is because he wasn't hitting his shots. And I'm like, would I rather a guy who's making a lot of bad decisions make fewer decisions or more decisions? Today was a mixed bag because he did have the ball a lot. He did make a ton of decisions. He did take a lot of shots. I think most of the shots he took were good, but then some of the plays with him, he was not our biggest problem tonight by any means, by any means. So yeah, I mean, those individual plays are an extension of frustration that has been building up for like 3 months with him. But honestly, like this game, I would say was very average, mixed. Yeah. For him.
Yeah, admittedly, my basketball IQ is pretty low. So I think just every time I saw him like get off that ball a little quicker and like go to Scottie or something, I was just like, oh yeah, there we go. Like, but
yeah,
wasn't sure if that was like a good thing or not. And those logo threes helped. Like, I'll just be honest. When I saw those logo threes go in, I was like, God damn, here we go.
Of course, like shot making is going to make everything look a lot better. I think with Quickley, he needs to use his scoring gravity to open up space for others. That can't happen if he passes out too soon from a drive, which we showed in the film breakdown where, you know, before he gets the defender to commit, he's already throwing the pass. It can't really happen if you make up your mind before you even catch the ball what you're going to do because you haven't even seen what the defense is going to, you know, do. Like if the defense is like basketball is so quick. Did you play a sport growing up? No sports at all?
No, I was a band kid.
You were a band kid. Okay.
Yeah,
so like
sports.
So again, for whether it's soccer, whether it's hockey, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, like the further and further up you go, the decision making becomes and to the point where you can't even feel your fingers anymore. It's so fast, right? So making these decisions in real time always comes down to who am I? Who's guarding me? How's the defense reacting to me? What are the other 4 players on my team doing? What are the other 5 players on defense doing? It's just a constant interplay in that situation. What's open? If I do this, then what happens here? I think point guards need to be able to see at least 2 plays ahead. And Immanuel Quickley can very often barely see 1 play ahead. So again, when on a catch, you must force the defense to commit to you before you decide that you're going to penetrate. Penetrating on the catch when the defense is playing you to penetrate is a mistake. You need to take the shot. So it's always a game of manipulating. Offense manipulates defense. If you're playing me to my left hand, like let's just say you and I are playing game one-on-one, and you're playing me to my right hand because you think he always goes right or he always goes right. So you're trying to play me to my right hand. Well, going towards my right is just playing into what you're asking me to do. I'm actually going to do a little bit something, manipulate you into thinking I'm willing to go left, and then go back to my right. Or I'm just going to hard dribble and go left, and you're going to be off balance when it twists you. So Quickly, simply put, does not do enough to manipulate the defense before he makes his decision. He doesn't allow things to come to him, right? He forces everything. So when he's going right, he's forcing bad shots and they're going in. Or like he's passing up perfectly great shots. You know what I mean? He's I don't know how to explain it. He's a terrible decision maker. Like that's what I would say. He is an absolutely abysmal decision maker, and he needs to spend like a year in a prison cell watching basketball tape over and over and over and understanding this read here. Or he needs to spend like a month away from the game and just like have a coach sit with him and be like, okay, this play, when you do this, this can't happen. I think there's just a processing error issue because, again, with New York, he was asked to do very little. He was asked to attack off the catch. Everything was very simple. Now we're asking him to level up to, frankly, I don't think his system is wired for this. I don't think his system is wired for, okay, has Scottie had a touch in the last four possessions? Has Brandon Ingram gotten a touch? How can I make, this seal so that this pass will be easier for that guy to make? Like, this advanced stuff is just not in his brain. So I think this is a failing of him, but it's also a failing of Darko to keep putting him in these positions that he keeps failing. You have
that's
two
been
players who can do this.
my feeling with Quick is like he could work so great in this system.
Yes.
It's just a more off-ball role. Like that shooting would help out so much. And I think that's the next thing I kind of wanted to get your take on is with Quick and Yak. I feel like with all the trade talks, we keep throwing those two guys in, and those are the two guys I think we're stuck with. And I think we just got to look at how can we make them work the best way. And with Quick, I think it's going off ball. With Yak, I almost think it's like a backup center role where he could kind of teach a younger guy, because like I think he's got great knowledge and could really like help a younger guy fit into that system, and especially with his limited minutes, right? Like it would kind of suit a more backup role. So I was wondering kind of your thoughts on them working more in those roles and like a trade, because I feel like all the trades that have kind of been explored are never around a big.
Well, we've explored trades for Day'Ron Sharp. He's a big. We've explored trades for Lauri Markkanen. He is at least big adjacent.
Lauri Markkanen, yeah, he's 7-footer, but I feel like he's not like he's 7-footer that isn't a big almost. You know what I mean? He doesn't get that. Yeah.
He doesn't give you the rim protection of a big.
Yeah,
is what you're
exactly.
saying. Yeah, I hear you. I don't know what big will be available, but what I will say is that typically teams that want to tear it down almost always trade away their bigs. So at the deadline, you could look at, well, there are unfortunately a few teams that are going to be really bad that can't tear it down because they don't have their picks. So New Orleans Pelicans would be a great example of a team where maybe you can poach away a Herb Jones, Yves Missi, someone like that. Or maybe you can take away a Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney would have helped so much tonight, and he's an $8 million a year player with former championship experience. We're an insanely young, very small, and frankly, very weak team. Like, we're very slight of frame. Like, I don't know if there's a metric to measure like how much our average player weighs, but we don't have anybody who's heavy.
I felt like we are lacking size. And then, like I said, low basketball IQ, not sure if that was an accurate read. And it's like every caller tonight was like, we lack size. We lack size. We lack size. We got to get bigger.
Yeah, I think we lack size, but we also like the Golden State Warriors weren't the biggest team. Like, Draymond, 6'6", right? Scottie's bigger than Draymond, right? But they were tenacious and they had a lot of strength, right? Between RJ, Quickly, Ochai, like Mamu.
But even that Golden State Warriors team, right? Like you got Draymond, that's like elite. And then you have KD, 6'10", and Kayvon, like 7 foot. Like they're not small. They're bigger than us.
Kevon Looney is about 6'8".
Is he? Oh, damn.
Yeah,
oh,
6'8",
okay.
6'8"-ish. But yeah, I mean, initially, like the Golden State Warriors, they did have a center, like they had Andrew Bogut for a while, and they had Zaza Pachulia. I think what we lack most is athleticism, like vertical athleticism,
Mm-hmm.
speed. It was interesting to go up against a team that had so much more speed than us, between Quentin Grimes blowing past RJ Barrett over and over, Tyrese Maxey dusting, whoever we put in front of him, VJ
Right.
Edgecombe getting right past Grady Dick. It was very obvious to me that we were just a less athletic team tonight. Not only were we smaller, but we were also less athletic. I feel like putting someone like Jonathan Mobo out there would have at least made us faster and more athletic. It wouldn't have made us bigger necessarily, but he has a 7'2" wingspan, and that helps. That helps. Like he can bother passing lanes. He can shrink the floor. Ingram is a very big player. He's 6'9" with a 7'3" wingspan. He's a huge player. There are centers who have his exact frame. So no, it's not just getting any 7-footer. It's getting a physical 7-footer who's willing to put his body on people, clear guys out, set really hard screens. It should be Jakob Poeltl. That's what you're paying him $20 million to do. You're paying him to be physical, but he's more finesse. So what you really need is someone like Steven Adams, right? You
Right.
just need a smart player who demands very low usage, who can clear out some bodies, get you some extra rebounds, and buy you 5-6 minutes of solid center play. I think Mamu has been a revelation, but he's not a
Totally.
center, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if he's going to play center, then your point guard, shooting guard, small forward, one of those players has to be center adjacent in terms of rebounding. So that's why, you see players like Josh Hart. You see players like Gary Payton II. These guards who rebound crazy and are just very physical, even a Jimmy Butler, very physical wing. These types of physical guys will allow you to play a more finesse big like a Nikola Jovic or a Lauri Markkanen. So somebody has to be that dude. And honestly, I don't think it can be Scottie. Colin Murray Boyles is showing the potential to be that guy. And, if his jump shot is real, I wouldn't be surprised if he plays a lot of center throughout, his first few years in the NBA. And while it will seem like at least that the Raptors are giving up inches and size, it would also be like they'd be so much faster and they can spread the floor out so much better. So there's always a trade-off when it comes to adding size. It's like, do we just want any lumbering 7-footer? Okay, fine. Go sign James Wiseman. Go trade for Marvin Bagley. Go, the dime a dozen. Go get JaVale McGee or, Go sign Dwight Howard off of waivers. Like he's free. He's available. He's a former All-Star. There are plenty of 6'10" guys who can rebound the basketball, and they're in Europe, they're in China, they're in the G League. There's plenty of guys who were more capable of matching up with Embiid tonight. The question I think for the Raptors is, how many times do you face a player like that every year? And is it worth carrying a guy like that on your roster? The answer is probably yes. And the compromise is probably Garrett Temple. So if you could just sign a 7-foot live body who can get, 4 or 5 offensive rebounds, pick up 4 or 5 fouls, and just be serviceable in those minutes and not disrupt anything offensively and just be relatively solid, that player could be had for a minimum contract. You just need to waive Garrett Temple. But, give him a assistant coach role. I mean, if he really loves this team, he would know at this point he's not really adding anything by being a player on this team.
Yeah. One more thing I wanted to ask, just talking about that 7-footer role and someone that isn't like just the body. The one player I was kind of getting excited thinking about joining the team was Nick Claxton. I think he's kind of got that verticality, that lob threat, that shot blocking. He can, he's not just a 7-footer. I was kind of wondering what you would think about where that would put us with him on the team. Yak as a backup center, probably RJ and Grady going the other way. A narrative I keep hearing about Brooklyn is they just want to put an exciting product together. And something about Grady, I don't know what it is. He kind of got that X factor. I feel like people are excited about him just for the way he is. Like I saw him in my grocery store today, and like I don't understand what. Yeah, no, okay. Not him, but like on advertising. So I'm like, why is Grady the Raptor I'm seeing in the grocery store for like Doritos or whatever it was, right? Like he's not the guy on the Raptors. Like why am I not seeing Scottie? Why am I not seeing BI? Like, so I just think like the Nets might value a a contract like Grady a little more than other teams, where they're just trying to put like a more of a spectacle together than a real team, which I don't know if that's an accurate narrative, but that's what I've been hearing been said about the Nets. So
I think the Nets are valuing big playmakers across the board. So they drafted like 4 really, really good playmakers this year. None of them are really playing. Jaeger Demon is the only one who's playing. Everyone else is down in the G League. So they're a weird team. In terms of the Nets, I think they're very attached to the idea of Nick Claxton going forward. If I did call them, it would be for their backup center, Day'Ron Sharp. Day'Ron and Scottie actually played together at Montverde in high school. I think Day'Ron is one of those waiting for a bigger role type of centers. Last year, I felt this way about Josh Minot. The year before, I felt this way about Dyson Daniels. There's always like one player who's kind of buried in a rotation somewhere that I'm just like, that's my guy I'm championing.
what's
And
his kind of play style?
Day'Ron Sharp is like a very physical type of big. Like like you can definitely check out Day'Ron Sharp highlights and you'll see like, he dunks, he's a good rebounder, he's a really good shot blocker. He's just he's a big, you know what I mean? And he's athletic and he can run, he's a good
Cool.
transition athlete. So yeah, he's signed to a really moderate, reasonable deal. I think playing in Darko's system will really, open up some new pockets of space for him to be unlocked. And I think he and Scottie will have perfect synergy on the court. I think the Raptors might overthink some of their finesse skill sets. Like we want movement shooters, we want this, we want that. Like to some extent, you do need to be able to stop people at the rim. Like we give up the most efficient offense in the most efficient spot on the court constantly. And if we're expecting Scottie Barnes to turn into Hakeem Olajuwon, like that's not his job. Like he's not good at that. Like he did a good enough job today, but I mean, like it's coming from all angles. Like you'll see that he'll get the stop on Embiid. Embiid will pass off to Maxey, and Maxey will come down, and then Maxey's man doesn't communicate, and boom, he just goes right to the rim. It's like how many players like Jakob and Scottie, and literally anybody who's been asked to play center for this team has an impossible job. Impossible. Because the guards cannot contain their man. They're not doing a good enough job of it. And it's leading to 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s coming downhill at the rim. It's leading to early foul trouble for Scottie, early foul trouble for BI, early foul trouble for CMB. Our bigs are always in foul trouble because we cannot stop on the perimeter. So I think the Raptors, more so than anything, need like either they need like to find a way to turn Ochai, Grady, Jacoby, one of these guys need to turn into a really high consequence rotation wing who can play both ends. And if it meant trading all 3, maybe I'm for it. Maybe some team out there has like a perfect player for us and they want 3 young players. Okay, cool. Like we need like that physical wing who can hit threes and play a little bit of defense. Like, it shouldn't be that hard. So yeah, like basically OG Anunoby. We need OG Anunoby so bad. We need him back.
That hurts to hear, man.
It does. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for calling in. Do you have any final thoughts, the Gab?
No, man. Thanks so much. I appreciate it, dude. Keep up the good work, eh?
Absolutely.
Hell
All
yeah,
right,
man. Have a good night.
Have a good night, man. Cheers.
Later.
See ya. Okay. Always good to hear from first-time callers. We've had plenty of first-time callers. It was nice to hear also from Recruiter Dude today because that's one of our OG callers. Recruiter Dude, I'm pretty sure has been calling in for like 3 years at this point. So really cool to hear from everybody. This is not a loss to be sad about, guys. Just like chill. Don't worry about it. Obviously, nobody said this team was perfect. I did not think this team was going to win tonight. And I think this team showed a little bit of Blue Jay effort. If that, one of the things that I found myself thinking about when I was watching the Blue Jays was just how that team always came back. They came back more than any other team from what I remember being told. Obviously, I didn't watch them the whole year, but they had that toughness of resilience, right? And it gets you really far. When you don't quit on yourself, it gets you really far in life. So I think the Raptors are a team that has shown pride. A lot of people have made mention of the fact that Brandon Ingram didn't have the greatest game. I agree. I don't think Brandon Ingram had a great game. I think Scottie had a mixed game. I think RJ had a mixed game. I think IQ had a mixed game. I think CMB is the one guy where I can say he played amazing. Mamu continues to thrive. Jacoby, Grady, mixed games. Jacoby, great defensively, horrible offensively. And Ochai kind of just a wash both ways. So the Raptors need to find an answer. One of the reasons I was projecting, Jamal Shed also had a great game. One of the reasons I was projecting so much depth is because I thought all three of these guys would be really good and that it would push Jamison Battle out of the rotation. But now it's like Battle might be better than these guys. You know what I mean? Like right now, Battle might be playing better than these guys. So, Grady had a good game last game. Hopefully, he can pick it up again. The Raptors don't play again for a few days now, so they'll have some time to, rest, recover, and try to get back into the win column. Did, this viral post that I posted today, the Raptors are above 500 for the first time since April 2023, be a bit of a jinx? Well, the reason I posted it is because I knew, well, at least I felt, that the Raptors would not be north of 500 for very long. So I figured while they are above 500, let's rejoice in the fact that, hey, like we're a good team again. And I think there will be plenty of days, weeks, maybe even months spent above 500 this season. I'm hoping for a 45 to 50 win season from the Raptors. This was a tough game to play on a back-to-back. And I think the Raptors performed pretty well. This was winnable. It was definitely winnable. But again, I'm reminded it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been winnable, and it was. So I think shout outs to the Raptors for doing that. Shout outs to Scottie for pushing through pain. Shout outs to RJ for pushing it, putting together a pretty good second half after a really shaky first one. And Foil saying back to Rob not reading chats. I'm reading the chat, like just because what the fuck do you want me to write? Like what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Ingram needs to be spoken. I'm not your mother. I don't have to fucking read to you. You can read, right? Like the chat is for the community. You get what I'm saying? Man, I went an entire show without crashing out, but like, bro, like the micromanaging of people that you don't know. Like, what do you want? Will Sandro come back next year? No, I think this will be a very, very difficult thing for the Raptors, right? Like very difficult, I think, for the Toronto Raptors because they don't have the bird rights, and he's clearly played himself above a veteran minimum. There is this old adage that if you sign a minimum contract, you'll always be on a minimum contract. But I think with the way Sandro is playing, there's a team out there that's willing to sign him for $6 million plus. If that team is the Raptors, they'll have to dip into the tax unless something dramatically changes in their cap sheet. I think right now, Ochai Agbaji has pretty much played himself off this team. You kind of hate to see that because that was a player that you invested a first-round pick for. That first-round pick could have netted you quite a few players, actually, if we're being honest. A lot of players that have actually worked out. If you need a reminder of the players who were actually available at that 29th pick, hold on. I'll actually tell you. So in the 2020, was it the 2023 draft? No, this is 2024 draft. So these are the players that were taken after the pick that was traded for Ochai Agbaji, which is to say these are the players that you basically exchanged for Ochai Agbaji. So this is the pick that you gave Utah for Ochai Agbaji. The following players were picked after Ochai Agbaji. So, I mean, you can count them out. Which of these players would you prefer over Ochai? Isaiah Collier, Kyle Filipowski. Are any of these players really working out? Tyler Smith from Milwaukee, Tyler Kolek for, I believe, Jalen Wells, Oso Iguodaro, Adem Bona, who you saw today. Jamal Shed clearly has been better. Don't worry, that's not Austin Reeves. That's Antonio Reeves. Cam Spencer has been decent. So not a lot. Quentin Post probably could have used him. So yeah, I mean, it's not amazing at all. Like the players who've come past them, yeah, like Quentin Post has been a pretty good player. Cam Spencer's been a pretty good player. Kyle Filipowski's been a pretty good player. Tyler Smith's been a pretty good player. But yeah, it's not the end of the world. What do you think of Brandon Clark? I think he makes $12 million, and that's $6 million too much for a player with that injury history. Wait a second. AJ Mitchell? What? Where'd I miss it? Where'd I miss it? Oh, shit. Right there. My bad. AJ Mitchell. Yes, AJ Mitchell would have been a lot better than Ochai Agbaji and a lot cheaper too. In fact, and this is going to hurt you to hear this, AJ Mitchell is probably a better player right now than Ochai Agbaji, and he makes like $3 million less. And you are like, if you had AJ Mitchell instead of Ochai Agbaji, like if you would just use that 29th pick and just picked AJ Mitchell, you wouldn't even need to trade one of RJ Barrett or somebody because you wouldn't be in the tax. So it's just one of those things, man. Hindsight is 2020, but yeah. We would have drafted Filipowski if we knew we were getting CMB next year. Yeah, but you didn't know. You didn't know that you were going to get. You didn't know you were going to get CMB, so it's always difficult to say. Anyways, please hit like on the video. A little birdie told me that if you hit like on the video, little ball bounces, and we get more likes on the videos now. I've noticed that. Like we get a few more likes on the video than we usually do, and that's pretty cool. I will also mention that we will be doing a members live tomorrow, in which we will be doing a live drawing for the free copy of the NBA 2K for one lucky member. We will be doing a drawing for NBA 2K, and also really cool handcrafted Raptors coasters. So these are such a cool item for any Raptors fan to have. I'm really excited to be able to give those away. So that's going to be cool. So yeah, we will do the member show at some point tomorrow. I will schedule it like 3 hours in advance. We will also be launching custom stickers and emojis and all that stuff for members tonight. It's on my to-do list for tonight. I promised myself that I was going to do it last week, and I totally broke that promise. So we'll be doing that. And also tomorrow, 2 things. I am on playback at 3:00 covering a game. I can't remember which game right now, but I'll be doing that for Player's Choice tomorrow at 3 p.m. So if you'd like to watch a game with me, definitely come check us out at playback /Players TV. And also, I'll be joining my friend Mike Roach. Some of you guys remember Mike Roach from Toronto Media Space. Mike has invited me onto his podcast tomorrow at 1:30. So that video will be out, and that'll be a cool conversation between us. So yes. Anyways, yeah. I'm not going to make too much about the Brandon Ingram throwing cup or whatever, but rude, obviously. You threw it at your teammate, but you didn't mean to throw it at his teammate. So assume positive intent where there is doubt. Brandon Ingram is obviously not throwing a water bottle at Scottie Barnes. Most players are not even looking at their environments. And the context is that he cost his team 1 point. You know what I mean? So he was hurt, right? Like his back was hurt, and they got called for a delay of game violation. So that gave Maxey one extra point. And, they were obviously fighting very hard to get back to the game. And maybe a player with Ingram's injury history is really cautious and maybe quite traumatized by how many injuries he's had. And he worked really, really hard to get himself right. So positive intent is apologizing immediately. Look, man. Vegan Grass saying word is he didn't apologize. Okay. It's water. Like, I don't know, man. Why do we do this? Heat of the moment thing, man. I'm sure Scottie will recover and Scottie will be fine. Okay. Like it's a mistake. Everyone can see it's a mistake. He didn't mean to throw it at Scottie. Yeah, I don't think yeah. Will Luke copied your title? Huh? What do you mean? Oh, I see. Raptors run out of gas in hard-fought battle against. Well, his title is a lot wordier than mine. Anyways, no big deal. Once again, assume positive intent. Maybe Hello and Welcome and I had the exact same thought at the exact same time that the Raptors ran out of gas. Anyways, talk to y'all later. Have a great night, and please make sure to hit like on this video. And again, if you haven't become a member of this channel and you're thinking about it, you're considering it, and you're thinking, what do I get for being a member, Rob? This is what you get for being a member. And if you're thinking like, how do I join, man? I don't know how to join. Well, there's a link in the description to become a member, which is pretty cool. And you can just go to the channel and become a member, and you can join 182 Wait, 192. Is it 192? 192. We're 8 away from 200. I would really like to get to 200 by my birthday, which is on November 26th. That'd be great. Anyways, Vegan Grass saying childish behavior, do not say sorry to the cameraman. Look, man, I agree with you, man. It wasn't a good moment for Brandon Ingram, but we move on. Right. Anyways, talk to you later. Bye-bye.